Devotional, Saturday, 7th of November. When God entered time and became a man, he who was boundless became bound, imprisoned in flesh, restricted by weary-prone muscles and eyelids. For more than 3 decades, his once limitless power and reach would be limited to the stretch of an arm, his speed checked to the pace of human feet. I wonder, was Jesus ever tempted to reclaim his boundlessness? In the middle of a long trip, did he ever consider transporting himself to the next city? When the rain chilled his bones, was he tempted to change the weather? When the heat parched his lips, did he give thought to popping over to the coast for some refreshment? If ever he entertained such thoughts, he never gave in to them, not once. Stop and think about this. Not once did Christ use his supernatural powers for personal comfort. But is this the most remarkable part of his coming? No. Think with me for a moment. An unnamed soldier took up branches, mature enough to bear thorns, nimble enough to bend, and wove them into a crown of mockery, a crown of thorns. Throughout Scripture, thorns symbolise not sin, but the consequence of sin. The fruit of sin is thorns, spiny, prickly, cutting thorns. And if the fruit of sin is thorns, isn't the thorny crown on Christ's brow a picture of the fruit of our sin that pierced his heart? What is the fruit of sin? Step into the briar patch of humanity and feel a few thistles: shame, fear, disgrace, discouragement, anxiety. Haven't our hearts been caught in these brambles? The heart of Jesus, however, had not. He had never been cut by the thorns of sin. What you and I face daily, he never knew. Anxiety, he never worried. Guilt, he was never guilty. Fear, he never left the presence of God. Jesus never knew the fruits of sin until he became sin for us. And when he did, all the emotions of sin tumbled in on him like shadows in a forest. He felt anxious, guilty, and alone. Can't you hear the emotion in his prayer? My God, why have you forsaken me? And this prayer is one of the most remarkable parts of his coming. But I can think of something even greater. Want to know the greatest thing about his coming? Not that he kept his cool while the dozen best friends he ever had felt the heat and got out of the kitchen, or that he gave no command to the angels who begged, "Just give the nod, Lord, one word and these demons will be simply toasted." Not that he refused to defend himself when blamed for every sin or every slut and sailor since Adam, or that he stood silent as 1,000,000 guilty verdicts echoed in the tribunal of heaven and the giver of light was left in the chill of a sinner's night. Not even that after 3 days in a dark hole he stepped into the Easter sunrise with a smile and a swagger and a question for the lowly Lucifer: "Is that your best punch?" That was great. But what was the greatest thing about the one who gave up the crown of heaven for a crown of thorns? He did it for you, just for you.